Hey YouTubers, flat earth believers, globers and my subscribers, thank you for tuning in again, and I hope the next video is to your liking.
So the globe requires movement, and Red said that we're debating the shape of Earth, and that movement isn't part of the debate, but it's the only explanation that the globe has for sunrise, sunset, and the seasons. So without the movement of our Earth, there can be no globe. It's one of those absolute destroyers of the possibilities. So movement is a huge key aspect, one that demands experimentation that can prove that Earth is moving.
What a complete bollocks. It has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth, whether it moves or not. We now know, and the whole reality is that we move through space. But there was one person that had serious discussions with Galileo Galilei, who seriously would have a discussion with you guys as well. This was Robert Bellarmine, and he was a cardinal. He did the Inquisition against Galileo, and there was no doubt for him whether the Earth was a ball or not. And be aware, if you would disagree with this guy, you might end up at the stake. At that time, already Columbus had discovered the New World. Tools sailors used in those days were, for instance, the Jacob staff, as you can see here, depicted, and a real one, and it was entirely based on the globe model. And Columbus would never have reached the New World if the Earth had been flat, because he would be using the wrong tool, a tool based on the globe model. At that time, for more than 2000 years, there was no discussion at all whether the Earth was a globe or not. The whole discussion at the court case, the Inquisition against Galileo, and the evidence that had to be proven, etc., was that the cardinal was convinced that the sun moved, and simply because it says so in Ecclesiastes 1.5. The sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down, and hateth to the place where he arose. That was the reason, that was the argument, the last argument he could bring in against Galileo Galilei. Not the shape of the Earth. And that means that the whole arguments given here by our noobs, Limitless, it doesn't make sense. You know, it makes sense to get a whole picture of the entire universe, but it has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the shape of the Earth. And therefore the whole point he makes is one big straw man. Actually, it's very interesting to understand that in those days, around 1360 AD, you had a guy called Nicole Oresme. He was a philosopher, but also a priest, and etc. And he had studied everything, and he basically came to the conclusion that what the Greek already 300-400 years before Christ thought, that actually it should be the Earth that moves and not the sun. And he had been reasoning as follows. He said it would be so much more efficient with regard to energy that it is the Earth that moves around the sun than that the entire universe moves around the Earth. Just imagine that. A guy in 1360. And here we are, 2018, and we have these retards, these cunts, like Limitless and Awake Souls, who have no fucking idea about history. They don't know what their role is in the world. They simply do not understand the world. And then they start making videos fooling people. And sometimes I think because the nonsense is so big that they just do it to fool everybody. And just to make money, because you can make money if you talk about UFOs, if you talk about aliens, if you talk about giants, if you talk about the sun behind the clouds and all that nonsense. No, it is epic fail. The argument given here is an epic fail. It shows a level of education that doesn't go beyond 12 years old. Sorry, but I get agitated when I have to listen to such fucking morons. Reds, Shawn, you tried, you did your best, but these guys are beyond salvation. This was Goudsmits from his debunking channel. If you like it, please sub and stay critical and use your brain. Please do.